ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। ॐ निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। समस्तदेवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुक ब्रह्मर्षे सूतमहामुने शौनकादिऋषिभ्यो अत्र्यादिऋषिभ्यो प्रह्लादादिभक्तजनेभ्यो मत्स्याद्यवतारेभ्यो आदित्यादि नवग्रहदेवताभ्यो श्रीदक्षिणामूर्ति दत्तात्रेय हयग्रीवादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। श्री आदिवराशक्तिमात्रे नमः। माता पितृदेवताभ्यो नमः। आद्यशंकराचार्य वर्यादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। Welcome to all. Salutations to the Lord in all forms, to all the rishis, munis, gurus, and our shastra. Before we do our today's Bhagavata Parayanam, followed by Bhagavata Adhenam, today being the most beautiful, precious, auspicious, valuable day, the day of Sri Vinayaka Chavithi, Ganesh Chaturthi, the great festival today. And then the Bhagavatam is of Bhagavan Vishnu, and Sri Ganapati and Vishnu have this relation, especially through the shloka Om Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye. The meaning is the white dressed, the all pervading, the very happy or pleasant faced Bhagavan I am meditating on, so that he removes all the vignas. Removes vignas, and vigna removal work is given to Vinayaka. Therefore, this sloka goes to Vinayaka. But the name of Vishnu is given, therefore, this sloka goes to Vishnu. Vishnu himself removes vignas, therefore, Vishnu and Vigna are one. Vigna Vinayaka is all pervading, therefore, he himself is the Vishnu. So, Vishnu Sambanditha Bhagavata Purana we are studying, and Bhagavan Ganapati also is Vishnu Swarupa. That is why even Vaishnavas also do the worship of Vigna Vinayaka. This is one thing. The second is, this Ganapati himself is the one who is said to have written Mahabharata Adi when Sri Vyasa was dictating. Most beautiful coincidence is Vishnu worshipped on Wednesday, Ganapati worshipped on Wednesday, and today Ganesh Chaturthi has come on Wednesday only. So all these put together from today, next 11-12 days, all over the world, millions and crores of people are doing Sri Vinayaka Puja for the three results. It's only one God, Vinayaka, gives all these three results. First, he gives initiation to us to do the sadhana of inner and outer world. He is the one in between who removes all the obstacles, and he is the one who is the giver of the result also. So, the one who starts our sadhana, the one who removes the vignas, the one who blesses us with the Vijaya is Bhagavan Vinayaka. And beautiful stories are there, Pauranika, about Vinayaka's arrival, made by Mother Parvati as mud, and she herself is induced the life in that. Remembering Lord Shiva, invoking his blessings, she made him and has put the prana in that. That is in Lalita, Kameshwara Mukhaloka Kalpita Shri Ganeshwara. So, Kameshwara Mukha Aloka Kalpita Shri Ganeshwara is the name of Lalita Mata, wherein she, remembering Shiva, has made the Ganapati and put prana. So many great stories of the success or elimination of the Rakshasas like Mushikasura, Gajasura, ityadi, we see in Bhagavan Vinayaka's avatar. Now Vinayaka Bhagavan is always there. That is why there is a Ganapati Atharva Shirsha Upanishad also in the Vedas. Now everyone told these 11 days all over the world they do the upasanas. When we also do the upasana, we are adding to the total divine universal vibration power which alone protects all of us during these most dangerous timings of Kali Yuga. When I become the contributor, the giver, through my upasanas to the total vibration, I also become deserving to receive the total vibrations which are created by the totality. So, keeping this in mind, we also, as a participate in the universal puja of Sri Ganesha Bhagavan. Now, for us, not so many thousands of things. We have only three, four things to think. What are they? Be careful, be attentive to listen. One, Bhagavan Ganapati is there. Full stop. There's no doubt about it. Second, Bhagavan Ganapati is there as Parabrahma Tattva permeating entire universe as its substratum. About this also we have no doubt. Bhagavan Ganapati is there with all his Shakti to do the Srishti Sthiti Laya. There's no doubt. Fourth, for us, Bhagavan Ganapati is our Aradhya Deva. We worship him not only today, throughout the life, so that with his blessings, we succeed in our dharma, we succeed in our moksha, and arthakama, we enjoy as much as he gives, that we leave it to him. Only these four things we have in mind. And for us, because Bhagavan Ganapati is there, we have bhakti towards him. We do upasana. With his blessings, we grow. And also because we know Ganapati is there, we live a disciplined life of fear from doing the wrong. So without doing the wrong, doing what we are supposed to do, worshipping Bhagavan Ganapati, invoking his blessings, succeeding in the outer world without any obstacles en route. And finally, by the same Ganapati's Kripa, we'll have his darshan also, the most beautiful divine form, and also we will have his anubhuti as Parabrahma Tattva. So from today, for next 9-10 days, one stotra anything of Ganapati we do. Today being first day, Vinayaka CHAVITHI, like everybody, we also spend some 15 minutes in Ganapati Upasana. What do? Is we just do the Dhyanam of Ganapati and chant Ashtottara Shatanamavani and also the Manasika Arati. Then as we did in the morning afternoon, we will chant once more the most divine Ganapati Atharva Shirsha Upanishad, followed by one stotra, followed by one japa of Ganapati. It all will take 15 to 20 minutes. Then the next 30 minutes, etc., we do our Bhagavata today. Then after that, our regular Adhyatma Ramayana Adhyanam. Then some stotras. So, this is how, like every day, our day fully will be in Bhagavad Smarana. Please cooperate. Om Asyam Shri Vinayaka Chavityam Shubhaditau Chaturtyam Shubhaditau Shri Vigna Vinayaka Paramatmanaha Kruva Kadaksa Siddhi Dvara Samasta Vignanam Nirmulanartham Samasta Satkarma Karmaso Vijaya Praptyartham Visheshataha Samasta Shastrokta Jnana Prapti Dvara Shravana Manana Nididhyasana Dvara Sarva Vyavaka Parabrahma Ropa Shri Vinayaka Parabrahma Anubhava Praptyartham Shri Vinayaka Darshana Praptyartham Shri Vinayaka Anugraha Dvarena Sanatana Dharmasya Vaidika Samskrutehe Vishwavyaptyartham Sanatana Dharma Vaidika Samskrutehe Samasta Vignanam Shatrunam Samula Nirmulanartham Cha Sanatana Dharminam Pratim समस्तशक्तीनाम् अवाप्त्यर्थं च विश्वशान्ति विश्वकल्याणार्थं च श्री विघ्नविनायकस्वामिनः अष्टोत्तरशतनामावल्या गणपत्यर्थर्वशीर्षोपनिषत् पारायणद्वारेण स्तोत्र जपद्वारेण पूजां वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पद आन शृण्वन्नोतिमेसीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ध्यायामि आवाहयामि आसनं समर्पयामि पाद्यं समर्पयामि अर्घ्यं समर्पयामि आचमनं समर्पयामि शुद्धोदक क्षीरोदक पञ्चामृत क्षीरोदक शुद्धोदक एकादोषक शुद्धोदक स्नानाभिषेकान् समर्पयामि। वस्त्रयुग्मं दिव्यपर्वणगन्धान् हरिद्रा कुङ्कुमं भस्मरक्षान् धारयामि। यज्ञोपवीतं धारयामि। समस्तालङ्कारान् आभरणान् समर्पयामि। पुष्पमालां प्रदास्यामि। ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। अष्टोत्तरशतनामैः मानसिकपूजां समर्पयामि। All of you remember Divya Rupa of Bhagavan Ganapati in your heart, and with all the beautiful flowers in the mind, do his puja by offering them with all devotion at his feet. Om Vinayakaya Namaha, Om Vignarajaya Namaha, Om Gauri Putraya Namaha, Om Ganeshwaraya Namaha, Om Skandagrajaya Namaha, Om Avyayaya Namaha, Om Bhutaya Namaha, Om Dakshaya Namaha, Om Adhyakshaya Namaha, Om Dvijapriyaya Namaha, Om Agnigarbhachide Namaha, Om Indrashri Pradaya Namaha, Om Vani Pradaya Namaha, Om Avyayaya Namaha, Om Sarvasiddhi Pradaya Namaha, Om Sharvatanayaya Namaha, Om Sharvari Priyaya Namaha, Om Sarvatmakaya Namaha, Om Srishtikartre Namaha, Om Devaya Namaha, Om Anekarchitaya Namaha, Om Shivaya Namaha, Om Shuddhaya Namaha, Om Buddhipriyaya Namaha, Om Shantaya Namaha, Om Brahmacharine Namaha, Om Gajananaya Namaha, Om Dvaimaturaya Namaha, Om Munistutyaya Namaha, Om Bhaktavigna Vinashakaya Namaha, Om Ekadantaya Namaha, Om Chaturbahave Namaha, Om Chaturaya Namaha, Om Shakti Sanyutaya Namaha, Om Lambodharaya Namaha, Om Shurpakarnaya Namaha, Om Haraye Namaha, Om Brahmavide Namaha, Om Uttamaya Namaha, Om Kalaya Namaha, Om Grahapataye Namaha, Om Kamine Namaha, Om Soma Suryagni Lochanaya Namaha, Om Pashankushadharaya Namaha, Om Chandaya Namaha. Ganapati loves variety of patra also. 21 patra, 21 pushpa. So feel all the wonderful flowers and leaves, and with that you are doing puja. Om Gunatitaya Namaha, Om Niranjanaya Namaha, Om Akalmashaya Namaha, Om Swayam Siddhaya Namaha, Om Siddharsita Padambujaya Namaha, Om Bijapura Phalasakthaya Namaha, Om Varadaya Namaha, Om Shashvataya Namaha, Om Krutine Namaha, Om Dvijapriyaya Namaha, Om Vitavayaya Namaha, Om Gadine Namaha, Om Chakrine Namaha, Om Ikshichabhadrate Namaha, Om Sridaya Namaha, Om Ajaya Namaha, Om Utpalakaraya Namaha, Om Sripataye Namaha, Om Stuti Harshitaya Namaha, Om Kuladri Bhetre Namaha, Om Jatilaya Namaha, Om Kali Kalmasha Nasanaya Namaha, Om Chandra Chodamane Namaha, Om Kantaya Namaha, Om Papaharine Namaha, Om Samahitaya Namaha, Om Ashrita Shrikaraya Namaha, Om Saumyaya Namaha, Om Bhaktavanchita Dayakaya Namaha, Om Shantaya Namaha, Om Kaivalya Sukhadaya Namaha, Om Sachidananda Vigrahaya Namaha, Om Jnanine Namaha, Om Dayayutaya Namaha, Om Dantaya Namaha, Om Brahmadvesha Vivarjitaya Namaha, Om Brahmatta Daitya Bhayadaya Namaha, Om Srikantaya Namaha, Om Vibhudeshwaraya Namaha, Om Ramarchitaya Namaha, Om Nidhaye Namaha, Om Nagaraja Yajnopavitine Vitavate Namaha, Om Stulakantaye Namaha, ओम स्वयंकर्त्रे नमः, ओम सामघोषप्रियाय नमः, ओम परस्मै नमः, ओम स्थूलतुण्डाय नमः, ओम अग्रण्यै नमः, ओम धीराय नमः, ओम वागीशाय नमः, ओम सिद्धिदाय नमकाय नमः, ओम दूर्वाबिल्वप्रियाय नमः, ओम अव्यक्तमूर्तये नमः, ओम अद्भुतमूर्तिमते नमः, ओम शैलेन्द्र तनयोत्संग खेलनोत्सुक मानसाय नमः, ओम स्वलावण्य सुदासार जितवन्मत विग्रहाय नमः, ओम समस्त जगदाधाराय नमः, ओम मायिने नमः, ओम मूषकवाहनाय नमः, ओम हृष्टाय नमः, ओम तुष्टाय नमः, ओम प्रसन्नाय नमः, प्रसन्नात्मने नमः, ओम सर्वसिद्धिप्रदायकाय नमः, ओम श्री विघ्नविनायकाय नमः, ओम गणाधिपाय नमः, दूर्वायुग्मं पूजयामि, ओम उमापुत्राय नमः, दूर्वायुग्मं पूजयामि, ओम अघनाशनाय नमः, दूर्वायुग्मं पूजयामि, ओम एकदन्ताय नमः, दूर्वायुग्मं पूजयामि, ओम इभवक्त्राय नमः, दूर्वायुग्मं पूजयामि, ओम मूषकवाहनाय नमः, दूर्वायुग्मं पूजयामि, ओम विनायकाय नमः, दूर्वायुग्मं पूजयामि, ओम ईशपुत्राय नमः, दूर्वायुग्मेन पूजयामि, ओम सर्वसिद्धिप्रदाय नमः, दूर्वायुग्मेन पूजयामि, ओम कुमारगुरवे नमः, ओम दूर्वायुग्मेन पूजयामि, ओम श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः, नानाविध परिमल पत्र पुष्प अक्षतैः पूजयामि, ओम श्री विघ्नविनायकाय नमः, ओम श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः, धूपमाग्रापयामि, दीपं दर्शयामि, समस्त परमाद्भुत षड्रसोपेत चतुर्विध महानैवेद्यं समर्पयामि, स्वीकुरुष्व भो. In the mind only, offer the best of bhaksha, bhojya, chosya, lehyadi, lot of naivedyam, including all the fruits, to Bhagavan Ganapati. Definitely he takes it. So in today's Telugu class, our Telugu people have heard Pragrahaya Namaha, Patruvasha Faladi, whatever we offer, Bhagavan definitely takes and blesses us. Naivedya Nivedayami, Ambulam Samarpayami, Mangalanirajanan Darshayami, Om न तत्र सूर्यो वादि न चन्द्रतारकौ नेमा विद्युतो बान्धिकुतोऽयम् अग्निः तमेव बान्धवनुभाति सर्वं तस्य पासा सर्वमिदं विभाति ओम एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात् श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः मङ्गलनीराजनं दर्शयामि सुवर्णमन्त्रपुष्पं समर्पयामि फलानि समर्पयामि पुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि आत्मप्रदक्षिणनमस्कारान् समर्पयामि श्रद्धा भक्तादि समस्त सत्साधनं देहि आत्मानुभवं देहि समस्त शक्तोपचार भक्तोपचार देवोपचारान् राजोपचारान् स समर्पयामि नृत्यं दर्शयामि गीतं श्रावयामि वाद्यं घोषयामि अश्वान् आरोहयामि गजान् आरोहयामि ओम श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः तोषणार्थं श्री गणपत्यथर्वशीर्षोपनिषदः पारायणं समर्पयामि. Now we will chant Bhagavan Ganesha related Sri Ganapathyatharva Shirsha Upanishad. Please participate. Om Bhadram Karnevehi Shrunyama Devaah Bhadram Vashyemakshabhiryajatraah Sthirairangaye Sushtvagam Sastanovihi Vyasema Devahi Tayyadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravaah Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaah Swasti nastarksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brahaspatir Dadhato Om Shanti 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 Om Namaste Ganapataye त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं धर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं ऋतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वं माम् अववक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवधातारम् अवधातारम् अवानोचानमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चातात् अवपुरस्तात् अवोत्तरात्तात् अवदक्षिणात्तात् अवचोर्ध्वात्तात् अवाधरात्तात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वमानन्दमयस्त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्दाद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं तत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तस्तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि लयमेष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो नलो निलो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वमवस्थात्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारः स्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वां योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मा त्वं विष्णुस्त्वं रुद्रस्त्वमिन्द्रस्त्वमग्निस्त्वं वायुस्त्वं सूर्यस्त्वं चन्द्रमास्त्वं ब्रह्मभूर्भुवस्वरोम गणादिं पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादींस्तदनन्तरम् अनुस्वारपरतरः अर्धेन्दुलसिनौ तारेण रुद्धम् एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपं गकारपूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वारश्चान्त्यरूपं बिन्दुरुत्तररूपं नादस्सन्धानं सगंहिता सन्धिः सैषा गणेशविद्या गणकऋषिः निःश्रुतगायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ॐ गङ्गणपतये नमः ॐ एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तं चतुरस्तं पाशमङ्कुशधारिणं रदं च वरदं हस्तैर्बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजितं भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणमच्युतम् आविर्भूतं च दृष्ट्यादौ प्रकृतेः पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं च योगी योगिनां वरः नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमदपतये नमस्ते स्थूलम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमः एतदथर्वशीर्षं यो देते स ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते स सर्वविघ्नैर्न बाध्यते स सर्वत्र सुखमेधते स पञ्चमहापापात् प्रमुच्यते सायमधीयानो दिवसकृतं पापं नाशयते प्रातरधीयानो रात्रिकृतं पापं नाशयते सायं प्रातः प्रयुञ्जानो पापो भवति सर्वत्राधीयानोपविघ्नो भवति धर्मार्थकाममोक्षं च विन्दति इयमथर्वमशीर्षमशिष्याय ज्ञेयम् यो यदि मोहात् दास्यति स पापीयान् भवति सहस्रावर्तनाद्यम्यं काममधीते तं तमनेन साधयेत् अनेन गणपतिमपि सिञ्चति स वाग्मी भवति चतुर्थ्यामनश्नं जपति स विद्यावान् भवति इत्यथर्वणवाक्यं ब्रह्माद्यावरणं विद्यान्न बिभेति कदाचनेति यो दूर्वाङ्कुरैर्यजति स वैश्रवणोपमो भवति यो लाजैर्यजति स यशोवान् भवति स मेधावान् भवति यो मोदकसहस्रेण यजति स वाञ्छितफलमवाप्नोति यस्साज्य समिद्भिर्यति स सर्वं लभते स सर्वं लभते अष्टौ ब्राह्मणान् सम्यग्राहयित्वा सूर्यवर्चस्वी भवते सूर्यग्रहे महानद्यां प्रतिमासन्निधौ वा जप्त्वा सिद्धमन्त्रो भवते महाविघ्नात् प्रमुच्यते महादोषात् प्रमुच्यते महाप्रत्यवायात् प्रमुच्यते स सर्वविद् भवति स सर्वविद् भवते एवं वेद इत्युपनिषत् ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम अथ श्री गणपति प्रीत्यर्थम एकदंत शरणागति स्तोत्रस्य पारायणं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे। ओम सदात्मरूपं सकलादिभूतम् अमायिनं सोऽहमचिन्त्य बोधम् अनादिमध्यान्तविहीनमेकं तमेकदन्तं शरणं व्रजामः। अनन्तचिद्रूपमयं गणेशम् अभेदभेदादिविहीनमाद्यं हृदि प्रकाशस्य धरं स्वधीस्थं तमेकदन्तं शरणं व्रजामः। समाधिसंस्थं हृदि योगिनां वै प्रत्यक्षरूपेण विभान्तमेकं सदा निरालम्ब समाधिगम्यं तमेकदन्तं शरणं व्रजामः। त्वदीयवीर्येण समस्तभूत समायासं रचितं च विश्वं तुरीयकं ह्यात्मप्रतीतिसंज्ञं तमेकदन्तं शरणं व्रजामः। सर्वान्तरे संस्थितमेक गूढं यदाज्ञया सर्वमिदं विभाति अनन्तरूपं हृदि बोधकं वै तमेकदन्तं शरणं व्रजामः। सुयोगिनो योगबलेन साध्यं कुर्वन्ति तं कः स्तवनेन नौति अतः प्रणामेन सुसिद्धितोऽस्तु तमेकदन्तं शरणं व्रजामः। देवेन्द्रमौळिमन्दार मकरन्दकणारुणाः विघ्नान् हरन्तु हेरम्ब शरणाम्बुजरेणवः। एकदन्तं महाकायं लम्बोदरगजाननं विघ्ननाशकरं देवं हेरम्बं प्रणमाम्यहं हेरम्बं प्रणमाम्यहम्। इति श्रीमुद्गलपुराणे एकदन्तशरणागतिस्तोत्रं सम्पूर्णम्। ओम तत्सत् श्री महागणाधिपति चरणारविन्दार्पणमस्तु। श्री महागणाधिपति प्रीत्यर्थम श्री गणपति जपम वयम सर्वे करिष्यामहे। 27 times we do Shri Ganapati Japam. Very beautiful, very divine. What we have to do is imagine Ganapati in our own Mooladhara. Imagine Ganapati at the Mooladhara of the entire earth. And with utmost devotion, pray to that Ganapati that protect me, the Jiva, from falling into samsara. And may I lift my identity from the Sopadika Jiva Bhava to the Nirupadika Brahma Bhava. Same way, the Ganapati who is at the Mooladhara of the entire universe, may he bless the entire universal consciousness also to rise from the Jadata, from the matterness to the pure conscious level. May everyone in the universe be blessed with the divine darshanam, with the darshan of Ganapati in his transcendental form, in his divine Chaturbhuja form, and in his immanent form also. With this prayer, most divine is this mantra: Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. This mantra 27 times. You all know that. You will chant together. I'll keep the count with all bhakti. Let our heart be soaked in devotion to Ganapati. Let our buddhi be full of Shraddha. Let our mind focus on his divine form and we are at his feet. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye वरवरद सर्वजनं मे वशमानय स्वाहा। ॐ गणपतये नमः। 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 गणेश शरणं शरणं गणेश, वागीश शरणं स्वशरणं वागीश, सारीश शरणं शरणं सारीश, विघ्नेश शरणं शरणं विघ्नेश, शरणं विघ्नेश, शरणं सारीश, शरणं वागीश, शरणं गणेश, शरणं गणेश. Tomorrow we will chant Sri Ganesha Kavacham in the evening class. Sarvam Sri Mahaganathipate Charanaravindarpanamastu. May all we be in that great devotion to Bhagavan Ganapati, and with his blessings may we all have the divine Anubhuti. Thank you. Om Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuranam Ekadasha Skandha मुक्तिरित्वान्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ पारायणम् अथ चतुर्विंशोऽध्यायः. Every day we are doing Bhagavata Parayanam. Today also let us do in continuation 24th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha अथ ते सम्प्रवक्ष्यामि सांख्यं पूर्वैर्विनिश्चितं तद्विज्ञाय पुमान् सद्यः जह्याद् वैकल्पिकं भ्रमम् आसीर्ज्ञानमथो ह्यर्थ एकमेवा विकल्पितं यदा विवेकनिपुणाः आदौ कृतयुगे युगे तन्माया फलरूपेण केवलं निर्विकल्पितं वाङ्मनोगोचरं सत्यं द्विधा समभवत् बृहतो तयोरेकतरो ह्यर्थः प्रकृतिः सोभयात्मिका ज्ञानं त्वन्यतमो भावः पुरुषस्सो विधीयते तमो रजः सत्त्वमिति प्रकृतेरभवन् गुणाः मया प्रक्षोभ्यमानायाः पुरुषानुमतेन च तेभ्यः समभवत् सूत्रं महान् सूत्रेण संयुतः ततो विकुर्वतो जातः अहङ्कारो यो विमोहनः वैकारिकस्तैजसश्च तामसश्चेत्यहं त्रिवृतो तन्मात्रेन्द्रियमनसां कारणं चित् अचिन्मयः अर्धस्तन्मात्रिका जज्ञे तामसादीन्द्रियाणि च तैः देवता आसन् एकादश च वैकृतात् मया संचोदिता भावाः सर्वे संहत्यकारिणः अण्डमुत्पादयामासुः ममायतनमुत्तमम् तस्मिन्नमहं समभवम् अण्डे सलिलसंस्थितौ मम नाभ्यामभूत् पद्मं विश्वाख्यं तत्र चात्मभूः सोऽसृजत्तपसा युक्तः रजसा मदनुग्रहात् लोकान् सपालान् विश्वात्मा भूर्भुवस्वरिति त्रिधा देवानाम् ओक आसीत् स्वः भूतानां च भुवः पदम् मर्त्यादीनां च भूर्लोकः सिद्धानां त्रितयात् परम् अधोसुराणां नागानां भूमेरोकोऽसृजत् प्रभुः त्रिलोक्यां गतयः सर्वाः कर्मणां त्रिगुणात्मनां योगस्य तपसश्चैव न्यासस्य गतयो मलाः महर्जनस्तपः सत्यं भक्तियोगस्य मद्गतिः मया कालात्मना धात्रा कर्मयुक्तमिदं जगतो गुणप्रवाह एतस्मिन् उन्मज्जति निमज्जते अणुर्बृहत्कृशस्थूलः यो यो भावः प्रसिद्ध्यति सर्वोऽप्युभयसंयुक्तः प्रकृत्या पुरुषेण च यस्तु यस्यादिरन्तश्च स वै मध्यं च तस्य सन् विकारो व्यवहारार्थः यथा तैयस पार्थिवाः यदुपादाय पूर्वस्तु भावो विकुरुते वरम् आदिरन्तो यदा यस्य तत्सत्यमभिधीयते प्रकृतिर्ह्यस्योपादानम् आधारः पुरुषः परः सतो विव्यञ्जकः कालः ब्रह्म तत्त्रितयं त्वहं सर्गः प्रवर्तते तावत् पौर्वापर्येण नित्यशः महान् गुणविसर्गार्थः स्थित्यन्तो यावदीक्षणं विराण्मया साध्यमानः लोककल्पविकल्पकः पञ्चत्वाय विशेषाय कल्पते भुवनैः सह अन्ने प्रलीयते मर्त्यम् अन्नं धानासु लीयते धाना भूमौ प्रलीयन्ते भूमिर्गन्धे प्रलीयते अप्सु प्रलीयते गन्धः आपश्च स्वगुणे रसे लीयते ज्योतिषिरसः ज्योतिरूपे प्रलीयते रूपं वायौ स च स्पर्शे लीयते सोऽपि चाम्बरे अम्बरं शब्दतन्मात्रे इन्द्रियाणि स्वयोनिशो योनिर्वैकारिके सौम्य लीयते मनसीश्वरे शब्दो भूतादिमप्येति भूतादिर्महति प्रभुः स लीयते महान् स्वेषु गुणेषु गुणवत्तनुः तमः ये अव्यक्ते सम्प्रलीयन्ते तत्काले लीयते व्यये कालो मायामये जीवे जीव आत्मनि मय्यजे आत्मा केवल आत्मस्थः विकल्पापाय लक्षणः एवमन्वीक्षमाणस्य कथं वैकल्पिको भ्रमः मनसो हृदि तिष्ठेत व्योम्नीवार्कोदये तमः एष साङ्ख्यविधिः प्रोक्तः संशयग्रन्थिभेदनः प्रतिलोमानुलोमाभ्यां परावरदृशा मया इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे चतुर्विंशोऽध्यायः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री भागवत शरणं मम श्री सद्गुरु शरणं मम श्री सूत शरणं मम श्री शुकदेव शरणं मम श्री व्यास शरणं मम श्री नारद शरणं मम श्री कुमार शरणं मम श्री ब्रह्मा शरणं मम श्री विष्णु शरणं मम श्री परब्रह्म शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम शरणं मम शरणं मम। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधव। स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्ति अमृता अतः सद्भाग्याः मामुञ्चतगर्हिजदा। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ श्रीमद्भागवतं पुराणतिलकं यद्वैष्णवानां धनं यस्मिन् पारमहंसमेवोऽलं ज्ञानं परं गीयते यत्र ज्ञानविरागभक्तिसहितं नैष्कर्म्यमाविष्कृतं तत्शृण्वन् प्रपठन् विचारणवरः भक्त्या विमुच्येन्नरः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्ति अमृतः अतः तद्भाग्याः मामुञ्चतगर्हिषित। ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवतमहापुराणमेकादशस्कन्धः मुक्तिरित्वान्यथारूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ अष्टाविंशोऽध्यायः। Saluting to entire Bhagavatacharyas, Bhagavat Avataras, Bhagavata Bhaktas, to the Guru Tattva, to entire Rishimuni Guru Devata Parampara, to Vigna Vinayaka, to Parabrahma Tattva, to the Shruti Mahata, to our own Guru Parampara. Having done so, see, just do one thing. Allow yourself to be in the company of as well as listening to the words of absolute Bhautikavada materialism. Nothing to do, just keep on listening. It is enough that in some months and years of time, our entire personality built with the matter, the materialism, the Bhautikavada, totally we can even for the fulfillment of that Bhautika, Sukha or Bhoga, to any of the destructive level, we can fall. Keep on being in that company. And more enter into that company of more and more negative people, negative listenings, negative studies, more and more effortlessly we become such a destructive demon. In the same way, the positive side also. Just keep on listening to our rishis, munis, their words of wisdom given in our shastras. Bus keep on. That itself slowly, steadily tells us how the world is deluding us, how the upadhis are deluding us. Then that continuous listening itself slowly lifts our understanding to the acceptance of the supreme truth that is substratum of the entire projected world. Keep on listening, keep on listening. That listening itself, in fact, helps within for the manana to happen and go on that way continuously listening. The manana itself takes you to the Chintana Nididhyasana and Dhyanam. और ऐसे सुनते सुनते आपको उस तत्व का अनुभव भी हो जाएगा. Just like nowadays, every day when we come to the class, we are listening to the truth, we are able to feel at home, we are able to also understand the world and its projection nature. It has become little easier to us. Which one? Which earlier was not even ready as information for us available. So that was not even available as information. Now we are through our intellectual some exercise and effort, we are trying to grasp it. Continue like that, listening, listening. Our personality, our antakarana, slowly, because this is talking about truth. This is the reality. There's no cheating in this. There's nobody, what you say, binding here. There's nobody who wants to take away something from us. It is only to liberate us. इसलिए Mrityum Shrutiparayanaha, even the Shrutiparayana also, through the Jnanam transcend the Bandhanam. This is what is said in Gita. Huh? In so many places it is said, Shravana ko kabhi nahi chodna. And many of us have no time, no capacity to do Manana Chintana independently. Never mind. Be regular in the class Shravanam, where every day we are bombarded with so much of the information from morning, evening, that itself at the next level takes us to the Manana. बैठे बैठे ही आपके अंदर अगर प्रेम से, भक्ति से, श्रद्धा से तत्व को जानना, अनुभव करना है, ऐसी इच्छा है, उस इच्छा से सुनते रहोगे तो सुनते सुनते ही मनन भी लगेगा, ध्यान भी लगेगा. Like 10 minutes back, if you had, some of you have done it, of remembering Ganapati as instructed, started doing puja, and some of you really got the presence, conscious presence of Ganapati in your heart or Mooladhara, and you could even visualize his feet, and we could even offer the Patra Pushpa at his feet. This is what the entire thing. Keep on listening, and that listening should percolate to the head in the form of understanding, and that should go into the heart and remove all the wrong notions, wrong convictions, wrong ideas, wrong concepts, which are so much hidden in the heart. All of them are removed. Then it is so conspicuous, it is so clear, unambiguously, that everything is that one Paramatma Tattva only. सुनना छोड़ दिया दो शास्त्रों का तो अशास्त्र को सुनना पड़ेगा. फिर जो कुछ भी सीखा हमने वो भी भूल जाएंगे, और जो कुछ भी दुनिया को छोड़ा था फिर से उसमें फंस जाएंगे. डिसाइड करना, तत्व को जानकर हंसना है या दुनिया में जाकर फंसना है. इट इज इन आवर हैंड्स. श्रवण श्रवण श्रवण. कीप ऑन लिसनिंग लिसनिंग. If you yourself can talk, you talk. If you can independently study, that also great thing. Take this विनायक चौथी आज से लेकर अगले साल गणेश चतुर्थी तक. So these are the 4-5 textbooks I will thoroughly study. Keep on studying. Studying also a type of listening. And listening also is a type of study. That is why Swadhyaya Pravachane Swadhyaya Pravachane Swadhyaya Pravachane. We are bombarded in the morning by the Taittiriya Upanishad Rishi that. And what Bhagavan Shankara said? Even though sarvaihi etahi yuktasya api swadhyaya pravachane yatnatyaha kartavya iti sarvai saha swadhyaya pravachananam kathanam. Is it not? Swadhyaya adhina eva artha grahanam artha grahana ayatam eva परम प्राप्ति ही। अतः स्वाध्याय प्रवचने प्रवचना प्रवचनानाम आदरः कार्यः. How spashta Rupa Bhashyakara told us in the morning. You saw that? How beautiful it was. So here also, what is the initial thought today before we enter into the study of Bhagavad Puranam is we are blessed to have inclination, we are blessed to have an opportunity. Let us be sustained with our effort also. Let us not miss for any reason throughout our life, every day listening to the Tattva through the Shravana of the Tattva Shastra. And no other thing. Don't go to the lower level of things listened which are only at the gross level. सुनो वो भी हो जाए तो, लेकिन ये मत छोड़ना, इसकी कीमत पर नहीं जाना. After finishing this, you go. Clear? I too have decided that no day without studying Shastra, speaking on that. Then only we are slowly, our heart is, see, क्या हो रहा है ना, सुनते सुनते हमारा पूरा हृदय मस्तिष्क जो है शास्त्र में बताया हुआ ज्ञानमय हो रहा है. Speaking, listening, our heart is becoming one with the knowledge that we are studying in Shastra. And repeatedly study, it is so beautiful. And today you see, in this chanting of 24th chapter, we saw how Paramatma se, in Unhi ke kripa se, entire world has emerged, and the beginning of Pralaya happens, how entire gross manifested world goes into subtle into causal, and the causal into Maya. Maya dissolves in the Paramatma. Paramatma alone remains. How beautifully that was there. And we studied this chapter 24 for around 15 days. All that is available. I request somebody God sent who will sort out every chapter of this 11th skandha as it is spoken in YouTube and mark them and make them into different folders, and that can be given to the people with a beautiful title. Is it not? Chapter 1 of 11th skandha, these are the 4-5 lectures, this is the title. Chapter 2 title, chapter 10, 12. इस तरह से so many beautiful chapters we studied. Each of them can be titled and separately supplied with a beautiful title. That's how it can be helpful. कोई तो करेंगे आगे फ्यूचर में देखेंगे. Anyway, now with this small little introduction, let us enter into the study of 20th chapter, in which Uddhav ji is asking a beautiful question to Bhagavan Krishna. The question and answer to the question is sufficient material data, if on which we can ponder and contemplate and deeply thoroughly understand, we will know what is bondage, who is bound, what is liberation, how to get liberated. है ना? क्या बंधन है, कौन बंधा हुआ है, क्या मुक्ति है, कैसे पाना, चारों अति मुख्य विषय इन 5-6 श्लोकों में हमको बता. 4-5 shlokas or maybe 7-8 shlokas, these most crucial things, which is the essence of entire Shastras, Vedanta, we are given. But the point is what? Still, because we are at the surface level, superficial level, not in the deep desire of knowing truth and establishing in that, still we have a lot of desire about the world. Our mind is Rajoguna Yukta with all Ashraddha, etc. Therefore, even though it is given, it is not taken. And that is why this Adhyatma Vedanta Jnana is called as Rahasyam or secret. It is not Rahasyam or secret because it is never told. It is Rahasyam and secret because 100 times told, yet it is not understood. Why? Because of our disqualification. And those who are qualified in their two qualities of Shuddha Antakarana, number 1, and wanting to establish in the truth, number 2, they will be able to catch. And those who really are interested also go on pondering in these 5-6 shlokas and get to the essence. And remember, that knowledge, essence which we get, unless we experience it in the dhyana sthiti, if it is only at the mano buddhi sthiti, the powerful mind and maya, mana and buddhi, which are the product of maya, will take again us into the world. When we become worldly again within few months, all that which were intellectually understood, it again gets washed off. तो सुनते रहना, समझ में लाते रहना, ध्यान लगाते जाना, अनुभव पाना. मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज उसी अनुभव में निष्ठित होना. Like in the morning Telugu class, We spoke about this nishtha in the Anubhuti so exhaustively. Pragraho, Vigraho, Negro, Nekashrung, Pragraho, Nigraho, Vyagro, Nekashrungo, Gadagrajaha. When we were talking on these names of Sri Vishnu. So now what is the question asked by Uddhavji? After listening from the Lord, the Parabrahma Tattva, supreme reality, and anything other than that is not proved in as existing in the reality. In real, these are unreal. And when we are valuing the real appears to be unreal. It's all in the four ways. We have studied it exhaustively yesterday, therefore I will not repeat it. What are the four? Pratyakshena, Anumanena, Na, Agamena, Atma Samvida. By the Pratyaksha Pramana, by the Anumana Pramana, by the Agama Pramana, and through the Dhyana, by the Anubhava or Atma Samvit Pramana, what we have to discover is Paramatma alone is reality, everything else is a projection on him. And in him, they are not there. In the pure mud, there is no pot. In the pure gold, there is no ornament. Pure gold means when your drushti is on exclusive the gold and as well as the mud. When our drushti is only on the mud or gold, only mud and gold is there. There is no thing called as pot or ornament. Pot and ornament are the rupa and the nama given to the gold or mud. Therefore, the jagat, which is nothing but nama and rupa, is nothing but projection on Paramatma. Or on Paramatma, projecting rupa nama is equal to jagatu. Other than that, there is no reality in the jagat. And only one thing is what? That rupa nama is stula level, sukshma level, karana level. Vyashti level, samashti level. Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika. All what was said in this sloka, that's what is being summarized here. What are they? Ki idam gunamayam vidhi trividham maya krutam. That was the verse number 7. Okay? Now let us come to the question of Uddhava. Uddhava uvacha. Chant the mantra. Naivatmano na dehasya samsrutir drashtu drushayoh anatma swadrushorisha kasyasyadupalabhyate. Hey Isha, oh Lord, I have a question. Please answer me. What is that? Na eva atmanaha na dehasya samsrutihi. There is no samsara of janana to marana. Janana and marana, and in between, whatever the modifications are there, whatever the kartrutvas are there, karma phalas are there, bhoktruttvas are there, all of them put together is called samsara. This samsara na eva atmanaha. There is no samsara in the pure, immaculate Paramatma. Na dehasya, not to this deha. Deha is stula deha, sukshma deha, karana deha. So, तीनों देहों को नो संसार, शुद्ध आत्मा also no samsara. Why? Drashtu drushayoho. Because Atma is drashta or the sakshi. So to the drashta and sakshi, he is being drashta and sakshi, he will never have samsara. And the dehadi, all the three sthula sukshma are drushya. Drushya are jada. When they are jada, how can they have a samsara? So the Atma and Deha, which are of the nature of Drashta or Sakshi and Drushya, how can, there is no samsara absolutely. Then what? Anatma Swadrushoho. And in that, the Deha is Anatma and the self Atma is Swadrushaha, is self-effulgent, self-aware, self-conscious awareness. So then Kasya Syat, then the Anubhava is happening of samsara. To whom this belongs to? Upalabhyate. So samsaraha dehasya na asti, samsaraha atmana na asti. Athapi upalabhyate. Then kasya upalabhyate? किसको संसार है? ना आत्मा को ना देह को है, तो अनुभव तो आ रहा है ना. If this riddle, if we can sort out in our understanding, we have done the best thing for ourselves, intellectual. And then after intellectual apprehension, still the Maya works that we get satisfied with intellectual apprehension understanding, and we become the pracharaka of that without doing the sadhana to discover the self and get liberated. माया तो ऐसे पीछे पड़ा ही रहता है. Clear? As without the knowledge we lived for millions of lives, with the knowledge also we can live for millions of lives without doing sadhana to experience. Without the experience. ये है माया का खेल. जानने में वो ये तकलीफ देगा, जानने के बाद अनुभव करने नहीं देगा साधना के द्वारा. बस मैं जान चुका हूं, उस ज्ञान में ही कोई लोग तृप्त होते हैं. इसलिए ज्ञानम विज्ञान संयुतम. ज्ञान एंड विज्ञान. ज्ञान इंटेलेक्चुअल नॉलेज, विज्ञान is sadhana and anubhuti. So is it clear? I have sthula deha. You also have. I have sukshma deha. You also have. I have karana deha. Yeah, that is drushya. That is anatma. That is jada. It will not have samsara. Because jada ko samsara hai. Then inside there is an atma. It is chaitanya swarupa. It is drashta. It's a sakshi. He is drashta or sakshi, and your immaculate is never touched by any time the drishya. Is it not? Drashta ka sthiti alag hai, drishya ka sthiti alag hai. Then therefore to that drashta or chaitanya swarupa, druk swarupa, sakshi swarupa, atma also, there is no samsara. But I am experiencing samsara of pains and pleasures of the body and senses, depression, rejections of the mind, wisdoms and ignorances of the intellect, and humiliations, ensuring successes, praises, sukha, dukkha, labha, hani, jaya, parajaya, ये सब संसार कहते हैं. These are not there in Atma, not there in Sthula Sukshma Deha, but they are experienced. Then to whom are those experiences? Oh, what a beautiful question it is. And this we will deal today, even if you have understood or not understood, tomorrow also we will deal, maybe even one more day, so that I become thorough in my understanding. Because I'm so selfish that I'm talking on all these shastras for my clarity. And you all also know, that is why kabhi aaye, kabhi gaye. Anyway, so no. The second part of the question is so powerful. Question ko continue kar rahe. In fact, he's explaining his own question. Uddhavaji says in second shloka, what is that? Atma vyayo guna shuddha swayam jyotirana vrutaha agnivad daruvat achito deha kasyeha samsrutihi atma vyayo guna shuddha swayam jyotirana vrutaha agnivad daruvat achito deha chito deha kasyeha samsrutihi. देखो, same words are used by Mother Sita also to explain about Rama to Hanumanji. Ramam vidya parabrahma sachidananda lakshanam. Is it not? Same lakshanas. Now here Uddhava, with his theoretical knowledge of what he heard so far, is unfortunate that he cannot forget what he heard from Krishna, because the teacher for him is Krishna, and you are unfortunate that somebody is a teacher, therefore we forget. So he remembered all that, intellectually grasped the thing. Then he is giving the lakshanas or gunas of the Atma and the lakshanas gunas of the Deha. Then he is proving both of them there is no samsara. Then to whom the samsara? What are the lakshanas Atma? अंदर जो परमात्मा है उनका लक्षण क्या है? फर्स्ट आत्मा अव्यय. अव्यय मीन्स नॉन डिकेइंग. व्यय मीन्स खर्चा होना है ना. परमात्मा खर्चा नहीं होता, कम नहीं होता. खर्चा होना, व्यय होते क्षय क्षय. व्यय क्षय नश्वर. व्यय मीन्स खर्चा होना, क्षय कम होते रहना, नश्वर नाश हो जाना. परमात्मा इज अव्यय, अक्षय एंड अनश्वर इज शाश्वत. Yourself, okay? Atma avyaya. He is never घटेंगे, never नाश पाएंगे. Clear? नाश नहीं होता. अव्ययः. And then he is agunaha. He is mayatita, and the gunas are in the maya. Because he is mayatita, he is gunatita. Therefore agunaha. And in the gunas only सारा नाटक की चलता है. Not in Paramatma. Then he is shuddha. He is immaculate, pure. There is no otherness in him for to have the ashuddhi. Whenever you listen the word ashuddha or shuddha in Vedanta, that means sense of otherness. The sense of otherness is ashuddhi. There is nothing other than it is called a shuddhi. Okay, shuddha, because it's one without second. Then swayam jyoti. He is self-effulgent. Self-effulgent, he is bright, brilliant by himself. He doesn't need somebody else for making him aware of himself. Finally, anavrutaha. There's no maya avarana to him. So Paramatma is व्ययरहित है, गुणरहित है, शुद्ध है, स्वयं ज्योति है, अनावृत. Now these are the words 1,000 times you have to ponder to feel the meaning of it. And then that meaninged Paramatma is my own self. Stationed in that thought is called as Savikalpa Samadhi. Then, stationed in that for a long time, seeking the anubhuti of that, when we drop the thought one day, that savikalpa goes and nirvikalpa anubhuti comes. In that nirvikalpa anubhuti, the self about which I am thinking, contemplating, and I are not two, I am that experience comes. जिस तत्व का मैं सोच रहा हूं मैं ही हूं, दैट्स कॉल्ड निर्विकल्प अनुभूति. और तत्व को ये है करके सोच कर पकड़ के रखना सविकल्प समाधि, विदाउट एनी डिसिमिलर थॉट्स. सो आत्मा व्ययो गुण शुद्ध स्वयं ज्योतिरनावृत. आत्मा इज अव्यय अगुण शुद्ध स्वयं ज्योति अनावृत. देन अग्निवतु, लाइक एन अग्नि, लाइक अ प्योर फायर. ओके, अग्निवत ही इज अनावृत स्वयं ज्योति अनावृत अगुण शुद्ध स्वयं ज्योति. So Agnivat Swayam Jyotihi. Okay. Then Avyayaha means Kalatita. Then Nirguna is Gunatita. Shuddha means Dandvatita. Then Agnivat Swayam Prakashaha. Then it has no Anavrutaha. There is no ignorance covering it. Is the self. Then what about the Deha? Daruvat Achit Deha. Like the wood is the Deha which is Jada. So all the above lakshanas are the Atma, and this lakshana is of the Deha. Deha is Stula Sukshma Karana. So Avyaha, Agunaha, Shuddhaha, Swayam Jyoti, Anavrtaha, like the Agni is Atma Swarupa Lakshana. Then Daruvat Achita Deha. Daru is Lakdi. Wood, like the wood is the Deha, which is the Achita, this is Jadatmakaha. Then Kasya Iha Samsrutihi. In this case, who is the one who is having the samsara of a janma marana, and in between them every drama of kartrutva, karma phala and bhoktrutva. So janam lena marna, उसके बीच में करोड़ों करोड़ों डिजायरों के कारण करोड़ों करोड़ों कर्म करते हुए करोड़ों करोड़ फल पाना. This is called as samsara. In the Paramatma they are not there. In the jada dehas of all three also this samsara is not there. To whom is the samsara? क्वेश्चन इज क्लियर. कौन है, किसके लिए है संसार? These 2-3 श्लोकास are the million Indian rupee value more than dollars. Okay, now let us be patient, conscious, awareful, attentive, alert, single pointed, with all the love and willingness to listen this shastra. The next 4-5 shlokas. May Bhagwan Ganapati, today is Vinayaka Chavithi, Bhagavan Vishnu, Bhagavan Krishna, Vyasa, most importantly Shukadeva, Bhagavan Krishna, all of them bless us that this knowledge enters very deeply into us today itself and stays there permanently and removes all the darkness of ignorance, after which we always live in the light of knowledge in an enlivened or enlightened way. Some more time it will take, but it will happen. What is that? Let us see. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha. So as I told you, एक बार, दो बार, तीन बार हम कहने का कोशिश करेंगे और आप भी घर जाकर चिंतन करो तब तक जब तक समझदारी पक्का हो और उस पक्का समझदारी में हम बैठ जाएं बिना हिले. Let the understanding be pakka convinced, and in that understanding may we get established. This powerful Maya mind, as I told you, will never allow to understand, will never allow to remember, will never allow us to do the practice of it, will never allow us to experience it, will never allow us to get established in that. In so many ways, the Maya starts or Maya troubles us. Okay? Why I have to say? Because we don't know how many are the enemies inside of these sorts. So when we mentally prepare this way, whichever the enemy comes, we know that it has to come. Now we know how to tackle it also. Shri Bhagavanuvacha. Now the answer starting. Be attentive. Chant the mantra together, word to word meaning, literal meaning, and explanation. First, Yavaddehendriya pranaihi atmanah sannikarsanam samsarah phalavan tavat apartopya vivekinah Yavaddehendriya pranaihi atmanah sannikarsanam samsarah phalavan tavat अपार्थोप्य विवेकिनः सो सिंपल इट इज बेटा एग्जाम्स के टाइम तुम पढ़ाई छोड़कर यू ओनली गो एंड प्ले देन योर माइंड विल बी too much of disturbed agitated you can't study you can't write exam well you can't pass in awal darja these are the only 1 minute the mother has to say the father has to say the sentence to be said by mother and father and its meaning is only one line. But how many years it takes for the child to fully listen what they said, fully understand what they said, fully accept what they said, fully practice what they said depends on the child. There are some children, in the one go only they understand it, throughout the life they get abided by it. There are many children told by parents the same sentence million times, but even in millions of lives also, they have not even fully heard what they said. Forget about understanding, getting convinced, practicing, getting established. In the same way, the entire Tattva Jnana is only in this one shloka. If you are like that earlier child, that in one go only we are able to understand and get established in that, your mukti is on today, Ganesh Chaturthi. You can remove Ganesha, you can sit there, you can ask your wife, children to do your puja. Really, Swami? Yeah, really. They put agarbatti in your nose then. Don't complain. Okay? Or you can choose other option of not even listening it. Forget about thinking and understanding. Forget about practicing and establishing. Okay. Now I'm explaining in our life of being together, especially in last 3 years. If at all the best of the important most of the topic in a shortest time, if it have discussed, that is the next 10 minutes. ये आगे 10-15 मिनट से बढ़कर कभी भी कोई सत्संग हमने इससे पहले कभी नहीं किया है आगे भगवान जाने that much important are these 2-3 shlokas and in the first one itself everything is given and the maya of it is what I feel like I told you and I told you but I myself have not understood you yourself feel like you have heard it and you imagine that you have understood. By the time you think that you have understood, that understanding is gone. That is the jadoo of the Maya. That is why what is to be said will be told in 5 minutes, but what we have to do is throughout life remember only this thing till we establish in that. Okay, now listen one by one word. Look into the book. Sri Bhagavan Vach. Bhagavan, Parabrahma Paramatma in the form of Krishna there as Jagat Guru, teaching through Uddhava to all of us about the Parabrahma Tattva in the entire this 11th Skandha, especially in this last teachings of him before he is leaving his avatar. Now the simple thing. Yavat, as long as Deha Indriya Pranaihi. With Deha, Stula Deha, Indriya, the Jnana Indriyas, Pancha Karma Indriyas, Pranaihi with the Pancha Pranas. Okay, as long as with this Deha, with the Indriyas, in that you can add all those 4 also. 14 Indriyas, Pranaihi with the Pranas. Listen, next sentence is important. Atmanaha Sannikarshanam. The proximity of the self is there. As long as there is the proximity of the absolute self with deha, 14 indriyas and the pranas. As long as the proximity of the self with this deha, panchaprana and the 14 indriyas are there, tavat, so long, as long as this happens so long, samsara phalavana, samsara will be there, tavat aparthaha, though it is actually in reality not there. Now the question was, to whom this samsara? The answer is avivekinaha, to the one who has not got viveka. सारा जादू इसी में है. कूल काम क्वाइट माइंड से सुनने का कोशिश करो. आई विल नॉट टेल इमीडिएटली. आई विल वेट फॉर 1 minute, 2 more minutes, and I will only tell the literal meaning once more, and then we will analyze it. So, yavat, till atmanaha, of the self, sannikarshanam, proximity is there with what? Deha indriya pranaihi, with deha, 14 indriyas and pranas. Tavat, till that samsara phalavana, the samsara appears to be there, apartopi, even though in absolute reality it is not there. And to whom? Avivekinaha. To an aviveki. हो गया? श्लोक का अर्थ हो गया ना? फिर से बताता हूं. अविवेकी व्यक्ति को ही वो वाला संसार जो एक्चुअली नहीं है फिर भी अनुभव में आता है तब तक जब तक उनका आत्मा का सन्निकर्षण, प्रॉक्सिमिटी, देह से, ज्ञानेन्द्रियों से, कर्मेंद्रियों से, अंतःकरण से, प्राणों से होता है. दैट्स इट. So now analyzing that, what exactly Bhagavan is trying to mean. So simple it is. And when I tell you that delusion is so powerful that listening to this, you say, स्वामी जी बस इतना ही है. हाँ, इतना ही है. अब ये भी ज्यादा है एक्चुअली, इससे कम ही है. Okay, then I'll try to explain it in this way. And you also try to listen. ज़्यादा गड़बड़ नहीं है, ज़्यादा टेंशन नहीं है. First and foremost is, there is only one thing called as Atma. There is no other thing. Clear? First and foremost is, there is only one thing called as Atma, there is no other thing. This is absolute reality. No. For whatever the reason, let us call it as Maya because that's what spoken in Shastra. These 14 plus 5 plus 1 things have manifested. Okay? The 14 are 5 Garvendriya, 5 Jnanendriya, 4 Antakarana, then 5 Prana and the Deha. क्यों आए, कहाँ से आए, ये सब की बात बाद में करेंगे. Second point. Third one is what? This Atma, the pure conscious self in me, be attended. When it is in proximity with this, when it is in proximity with this, in the proximity of that, the samsara happens. Now, to whom the samsara is happening? Whom? The one who is experiencing. Who is the one experiencing samsara? Aviveki. What is the meaning of that, Swamiji? When you do the Viveka, you will know that these 14 plus 5 plus 1, 20 are not at all existing. What is existing is the self. Then you become liberated. देखो किसको हो रहा है संसार, नहीं बता रहे आंसर, जीव को हो रहा है या परमात्मा को. दैट इज अ क्रक्स एंड ट्रिक ऑफ द श्लोका. अविवेकी को संसार हो रहा है. ओके, व्हाट इज अविवेका? Aviveka is, this only self is there, these 19 are not at all there. And this is the Viveka. What is Aviveka? Self is there, these 19 are there, or 20, and the self is very in close proximity with them. Now imagine, like that example of crystal and that red or blue cloth. When the red or blue cloth is close to the crystal, in the crystal, the red and blue color appears as if it has touched the crystal. But did the crystal become colored? The answer is no. Then where from the coloring to the crystal appeared? What from and where from? Is it not because of the proximity of? these colored clothes or flower. Now take away the colored cloths, blue or red, away. What will the position of crystal? Crystal clear? Ponder over this example, thus bar, you will understand what Shastra is saying here. So, our proximity with these upadhis is called as aviveka. And the one who is owning this aviveka is suffering the samsara. And now the last answer is, who is he now? Me only. Means what? Me in my aviveka, myself bring in proximity to the upadhis, then I suffer. Me only. And me in my own viveka, take myself away from the proximity of the upadhis, I get liberated. And bringing myself in proximity to these upadhis and suffering samsara happens in the three avasthas. Taking me away, taking me away myself from the upadhis to experience my immaculate liberated self happens in dhyanam. That is what is the million times in million places said, when do the dhyanam of the Vishayas, they enter into you, you become Vishayi, that means samsara. Same way, when you do always dhyanam of the Paramatma, you become one with Paramatma, which is your essential nature. So therefore, I alone am the Atma, eternally ever liberated. I myself now I am experiencing myself as Jiva. So me the Jiva with my samsara suffering because of my aviveka. And what that aviveka is doing? Taking me closer to the upadhis. And that closeness to upadhis is with these two bandhanam called as aham and mama. With the entire worldly things, the bandhanam is in the form of mama mama. And with the deha, it is both mama and aham. So, aham and mama are the wrong notions. So strongly, deeply rooted in our hearts from millions of life, which are bringing me in so much proximity with all these upadhis, and that is making making me samsari. So, who is samsari? Me. Who is Atma? Me. Which me is samsari? Aviveki. Which me is Atma? Viveki. What is the Viveka? Taking away myself in my ahanta mamata with the upadhis. That's it. ये समझा तो सब समझ गए, बट समझना मोक्ष नहीं देता. इस समझदारी में हमें साधना के द्वारा रूटेड होना चाहिए. Now imagine from this standpoint, what is the state of the liberated saint and sage? They are in the very same world, but they don't have aham mama with any of the upadhi. Therefore, they are not in the samsara. They are not having samsara, and they are always in proximity, not in proximity, in the identity with their own absolute nature, absolute self. सो वो आत्मा में है, हम अनात्मा में हैं. आत्मा में जो है वो मुक्त है, अनात्मा में जो है वो बद्ध है. चॉइस हमारा है. And this peculiar choice is such, if for millions and millions of lives, you can be in anatma as a jiva going through samsara, your choice. In any of the life, you can start detaching yourself with your viveka from all the upadhis. And what is the detachment? Aham mama is dropped with all the upadhis, which is not as easy as said, because ये देह मैं हूँ और ये पूरा विश्व के सारे वस्तु व्यक्ति मेरे हैं, ये वाले श्वासनाएं करोड़ों जन्मों से हम लाकर रखे हैं. सडनली निकालो बोले तो जाता है क्या वो? पहले तो इसी के कारण मैं संसारी हूँ, इससे छुटकारा पाऊं तो आई बिकम द सेल्फ एंड और आई रीगेन माई सेल्फहुड एंड गेट लिबरेटेड. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थ्रू थाउजेंड टाइप्स ऑफ थिंकिंग, इन दिस नॉलेज वी हैव टू एस्टैब्लिश thoroughly. What is the knowledge in which we have to thoroughly get established? The knowledge that I am the pure liberated self. But present, I am suffering as a jiva. Reason is, I myself have owned this upadhis with aham and mama. As long as I am in this aham mama with upadhi, so long I will be samsara for millions of lives. And if I want to get rid of samsara permanently, I have to wean away of my relation with these upadhis from the relation of Aha and Mama. Then only in the same detached inner antakarana from all the upadhis, I can attach myself to the real self. In the effort of attaching to the real self, the two steps are, as we told 6-7 minutes back, first is up to the Savikalpa Samadhi, second is the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. In the Savikalpa Samadhi, we get established at the thought level about our essential self. In the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the thought goes away, I become one with that experience. अब देखो पूरा वेदांत बता दिया और इतनी बात समझने को लोगों को जन्म जन्म लगते हैं, हमको भी। और ये बात रात को टिकेगा, कल तक रहेगा कि नहीं, यू हैव टू गारंटी योर सेल्स। You understand? Now, how much Ishvara Kripa, Guru Kripa, our own Swaprayatna required for us to fully get convinced about this particular ultimate knowledge. So, Avivekinaha, okay, Tavat apartah api samsaraha phalavan. For an aviveki, till that time, samsara, though it is not there, still experienced till that time when he, the self, is in very close proximity to the Dehendriya Prana Sanghata. So with the Upadhi, I am Jiva, without Upadhi, I am the Atma. I only. Now what I am doing therefore in sadhana? Then what is the definition of actual mukti giving sadhana? As much it becomes clear to us now, never in the past it must have come. Now we know upadita datma is baddha jiva. Upadi detached is a mukta. And upadi and me are never together because they are of different level. But because of aviveka, the proximity through aham mama happens. When you go on doing viveka, it is discovered that to me and them there is no connection at all. And that is what Uddhava said already. Uddhava has got already the answer, but he doesn't know how to apply it. क्योंकि चाबी होता है लेकिन कैसे घुमाना है लगा के वो नहीं पता होता हमको. Uddhava said no, Atma Avyaha Agunaha Shuddhaha Swayam Jyoti Anavruta. The self in me is never in contact or attachment with aham and mama, with the gunas aham mama through any of the upadhi. But as if the contact or attachment is there, is appearing only because of aviveka. That is what in the Vedanta, what is taught is only viveka. What is viveka? The status of upadhi is different. The state of your real self is different. You and they are never can be one with each other. And the discovery that I am never attached to them is called as साक्षी भाव. सो क्या हुआ फिर इसमें? मानने में ही कि मैं ये हूं, ये हो रहा है. मानना छोड़ दिया, जानना पकड़ लिया, तो यू आर फ्री. जानकारी में क्या है कि आई एम द अनटचड सेल्फ. मानने में क्या है कि मैं उपाधि हूं. उपाधि मैं हूं इज नॉट रियलिटी. इट्स ओनली मानना. और मानते ही जा रहे, मानते ही जा रहे. No, every thought, every word, every action we do without this knowledge, unconsciously, subconsciously, consciously, is nothing but making us identify the upadhi. Therefore, consequently, we are continuing as samsari. Unfortunately, entire world outer will be like this only, especially in this Kali Yuga. The few who talk about in the language of the pure immaculate self to be reality. Everybody is taking the world as real or trying to make the world as real. And our contact with the world is made stronger. Who is me? I am the self all the time. So self bound by upadhi is jiva. Jiva freed from the upadhi is the self. Who are you now? I am a jiva. How? By binding with upadhi. Through what? Aham and mama. Why? With aviveka. Then what to do? Viveka. Till what extent? Ki my relation with upadhi, with the content, with the relation of aham and mama goes away. Then what happens? You know yourself. So what that is where the definition of Atma is, self is that which is untouched by any of the upadis. Which self it is talked about? I. This I have to realize. And to realize it, I have to be very contemplative. For contemplative, I have to first of all have the information thoroughly. Information comes to us when we hundreds of times listen same truth from the same guru or any gurus from one text or many texts. टेक्स्ट कितने भी हो, बात वही है. Atma is untouched by any one of them, and that untouched Atma is me. Vahi Atma Satchidanand mein hu, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. And all these Jagat and all are Achita, Anananda and Jada. How can I have contact with them? Asat and Achit Anananda. पागल है क्या? बट लेकिन ये बात दिल में बैठने के लिए भी we need to have Ishvara Guru Kripa. An egoistic person, a non-surrendered person to the Guru will not go deep in the listening to this. Therefore, ऊपर ऊपर से आकर चला जाता है. वो information यहाँ से आकर चला जाता है, अंदर नहीं जाएगा, हमको transform नहीं करेगा. That is why the deep devotion and faith required at the feet of Guru, God and Shastra. Then only what they said we take very deep into the heart. Then only the understanding removes the wrong understanding. Same thing 20 times we will repeat till we get established in this, that this is what is happening, this has to happen. What's happening is bandhanam, what has to happen is moksha. ठीक है, कल बाकी मजा देखेंगे इसका. हम अर्थे अविद्यमाने यथा ही अप्रबुद्धस्य शोक हर्ष भय क्रोध देहेन्द्र प्राण मनोविमानः. On the basis of all these shlokas only, Bhagavan Adi Shankara has given all the Prakarana Granthas, चाहे वो विवेक चूड़ामणि हो, आजकल what we Telugu people are studying, the Dukkusha Viveka ho, all of them are based on this. He understood all of that, he experienced it, and he put for us in a simple words in this Prakarana Shastras. Thank you. Om Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Stoma Sadgamaya Tapasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. On Ganesh Chaturthi day, the best of the subject we heard after doing contentfully his puja. Now let us study for some time our next text, Adhyatma Ramayana.